You open a cabinet looking for one small thing, and three other things lean forward with it: an extra container, a spare gadget, a box you meant to keep just in case. For many women over 40, a home can feel heavy, even when it looks organized, because it is holding too many decisions that were never fully finished. That is why the things women over 40 stop storing just in case matter more than they seem. This is not about getting rid of every useful backup. It is about noticing which extras support your real life and which ones quietly ask you to manage a future that may never come. Just in case sounds responsible, and sometimes it is. A spare light bulb or an extra set of batteries has a clear purpose. The problem begins when that phrase explains entire shelves, drawers, and bins. You keep something because your body might change, someone may visit, or throwing it away feels wasteful. No single item seems like much. The weight comes from storing it, moving it, remembering it, and deciding about it again. A calmer home does not have to be empty. It simply needs to stop carrying so many vague possibilities. As we go through these 9 categories, do not ask, could this ever be useful? Almost anything could be useful in some imaginary situation. Ask instead, does this have a clear job in the life I am living now? Many closets hold clothes for a body that does not exist today. There may be jeans from 10 years ago, a dress that almost fits a jacket you loved before your shape changed, or a stack saved for the day you lose weight, gain weight, return to an old style, or suddenly want to dress like a former version of yourself. Keeping one meaningful piece is different from keeping a second wardrobe for a possible future body. When too much closet space is given to clothes you cannot comfortably wear, getting dressed can begin with comparison instead of support. Your current body deserves the easiest access, the most useful space, and the least complicated mourning. Separate what serves you now from what belongs to a possible future. If you choose to keep some future-size clothing, give it a limit, one container, one shelf, or a small, clearly defined section, then let the rest of the closet work for the woman who is standing in front of it today. This is not a judgment about your body or your goals. It is a decision about what your closet is for. Your clothes should help you get dressed, not turn every morning into a negotiation with the past or future. The kitchen is one of the easiest places for backups to multiply. You may have 3 vegetable peelers, 2 can openers, several wooden spoons, duplicate measuring cups, extra serving bowls, and more utensils than the drawer can hold comfortably. Some duplicates are genuinely useful. If you bake often, 2 measuring cups may save time. If several people cook together, extra tools may make the kitchen work better. The point is not to remove every second item. The point is to notice whether the duplicate has a real purpose. A tool that is never chosen is not doing much as a backup. It is usually an object you lift, shift, or dig around while reaching for the one you actually like. That tiny frustration matters because it repeats. The drawer sticks, utensils catch, and useful items disappear behind things you never choose. Try choosing the best version of each frequently used tool. Keep a second one when you can name the reason. Release the pieces that are uncomfortable, damaged, awkward to clean, or always passed over. The goal is not a picture-perfect minimalist kitchen. It is a kitchen where useful things are easy to reach, easy to clean, and easy to put away. Empty containers are difficult to release because they look useful. A glass jar could hold something. A sturdy box might organize a drawer. A plastic tub may be good for leftovers. A small basket could solve a storage problem you have not identified yet. So the containers stay, then one shelf becomes 2. There are jars without lids, lids without containers, gift boxes, shipping boxes, tins, baskets, and organizers waiting for a future assignment. Potential, however, is not the same as purpose. A useful container has a job. It holds something you use, fits the space, and makes a routine easier. Without a job, the container itself becomes clutter that needs organizing. Keep the sizes and types you actually use. Match lids to bases. Remove pieces that are cracked, badly stained, warped, or missing an important part. Then give empty containers a physical limit, perhaps one small shelf or bin. When that space is full, something must leave before another container is added. A clear limit saves you from having to make the same decision every week. The shelf decides with you. Many homes have a drawer filled with cables nobody can confidently identify. There are chargers from old phones, cords from devices that are gone, adapters with unknown purposes, outdated earbuds, broken remotes, old routers, and small electronics waiting to be tested. These items feel difficult to release because technology is expensive and specific. Yet an unlabeled cable is not a dependable backup. If you do not know what it belongs to or whether it works, it is mostly preserving uncertainty. Start with identification rather than disposal. Match cables to devices you still own. Test items only when it is safe and practical to do so. Label cords that are used occasionally. Keep essential backups together instead of scattering them across several drawers. Then look at what remains. If a cable has no known device, no label, and no recent use, decide whether it still needs permanent storage. If an electronic item has waited for repair for years, ask whether you truly plan to repair it. Before selling, donating, or recycling a phone, computer, or other device that may contain personal information, follow the manufacturer's instructions for backing up and securely removing your data. Use a legitimate electronics recycling or collection option available in your area, especially for devices or batteries that should not go into ordinary household waste. The calmer result is not an empty drawer. It is a drawer where each item has a known purpose. Linens enter a home slowly. A new towel set replaces an older one, but the older one stays. Sheets from a previous bed size remain in the closet. Blankets are saved for guests. Worn towels are kept for cleaning pet spills, painting, or an emergency that may never require 20 of them. Because linens are practical, it is easy to believe that more is always safer. But too many linens can make the closet harder to use. Stacks fall over, sets become separated, older pieces disappear at the back. You may even buy more because you cannot clearly see what is already there. A calmer linen closet begins with the household you actually have. How many beds are used regularly? How often do you wash sheets? How many people realistically stay overnight? How many old towels do you reach for in an ordinary month? There is no perfect number. The useful amount is the one that matches your routines and fits the space without creating a struggle. Keep the best sets. Pair sheets with their pillowcases. Let go of pieces that no longer fit any bed in the home unless there is a specific use for them. Limit worn towels to an amount you can store and actually use. Linens are meant to support comfort. They should not tumble out every time you open the door. Beauty and personal care products often arrive with good intentions. You find a sale, so you buy two. A favorite product may be discontinued, so you buy several. You try a new cream shampoo, lipstick, or serum, but it does not suit you, and you keep it because it was expensive. Over time, the bathroom fills with unopened backups, half-used bottles, samples, and travel sizes. I will use it eventually can create a surprising amount of inventory. Too many products make it harder to see what you use and may leave you feeling obligated to finish things you do not enjoy. Separate the products into 3 groups: what you use now, what you are reasonably likely to use next, and what you are keeping mainly because of guilt. Follow the label and manufacturer's storage or disposal directions. Pay attention to noticeable changes in color, smell, texture, or consistency, and stop using anything that causes irritation or concern. Product labels matter because not all personal care items are regulated in the same way. For unopened products, you know you will not use. Check whether a local organization accepts them before assuming they can be donated. Then choose a realistic backup limit. 1 extra shampoo may prevent an inconvenient trip. 6 may become another inventory system that needs checking, rotating, and remembering. Your bathroom should support a simple routine. It does not need to operate like a stockroom. Keeping original packaging can make sense, while a return or exchange is still possible, especially for electronics appliances or fragile items. The problem comes when the return period has passed. The product is working, and the packaging remains in the garage, closet, spare room, or under the bed for years. Large boxes and molded inserts quickly take over closets, garages, and spare rooms. A calmer system gives packaging a decision date. Check the seller's actual return policy rather than relying on memory. Write the deadline on the box or set a reminder. When the date passes and the product is staying, decide whether the packaging has another specific job. Some boxes may still be useful for safe seasonal storage, a future move, or a fragile item. Most everyday packaging has completed its purpose once the purchase is settled. Before recycling a box photograph model, numbers, serial numbers, or product information you may need later, keep receipts, manuals, and warranty details together in a simple physical or digital system rather than preserving an entire cardboard structure. The purchase is finished. The product belongs in your home. The packaging does not automatically need to stay with it forever. Hobby supplies can carry more emotion than ordinary clutter. They may represent creativity, possibility, or a version of you who once had more time. Fabric, yarn, paint, gardening supplies, and unfinished kits can feel difficult to release because letting go may seem like giving up part of yourself. But there is a difference between a hobby you still love and a hobby you feel obligated to resume. When supplies sit untouched for years, they may stop feeling inviting. Instead, they become reminders of time you do not have, energy you cannot find, or projects you have not completed. Interests change. That does not make the earlier interest a mistake. Ask whether the activity still feels alive to you now, not whether it was once meaningful or expensive. Would you choose this hobby again in the next season of your real life? You may decide to keep a smaller, usable version, one basket of knitting supplies instead of several bins, or one sketchbook, and a simple set of pencils instead of a full collection. You may also decide that the season has ended. Letting go of excess materials does not erase the pleasure, skill, or comfort the hobby once gave you. It simply stops your home from asking you to keep every former possibility available forever. Many women store things for guests who rarely or never arrive. Extra serving dishes, folding chairs, decorative bedding, special towels, backup toiletries, large cookware, extra mugs, and formal table settings may be kept because one day the house could be full. Hospitality matters, but imaginary guests can quietly take space away from the people who live in the home every day. You may climb around boxes so a future visitor can have an extra blanket. Everyday dishes may be difficult to reach because special serving pieces are stored in front. A room may remain arranged for occasional guests while you have no comfortable place for your own rest, reading, exercise, or creative work. A calmer home gives daily life priority. Think about the guests you truly host. How many people come? How often? What do they actually need? Most visitors need a comfortable place to sit, something to drink, clean bedding when they stay, and the feeling that they are welcome. They do not need your home to function like a fully stocked hotel all year. Keep what supports the hospitality you genuinely practice. Release the pressure to prepare for every possible gathering. You can borrow a folding chair, use everyday dishes, or solve a real need when it appears instead of storing for every imagined situation. Your home does not have to remain permanently crowded for people who are not currently there. As you look at these 9 categories, you may notice that the hardest items are not always the largest. They are connected to hope, guilt, identity, money already spent, and the wish to be prepared. You do not need to clear all 9 categories in one day. Choose the one that creates the most repeated friction, the drawer you avoid, the shelf that keeps collapsing, the closet that makes it hard to find what fits, or the cabinet holding more backups than your household could reasonably use. Then ask 3 questions. Do I know exactly what this is for? Is that situation part of my real life? Does keeping this make my home easier or harder to use today? The answer may be to keep it. That is fine. Calm is not created by getting rid of everything. It is created by reducing vague responsibility. A clear yes feels different from an anxious maybe. When an item has a purpose, a place, and a realistic reason to stay, it supports the home. When it remains only because something might happen someday, it may keep asking you to remember, protect, rearrange, and decide. You are allowed to prepare for the life you actually live. You are allowed to keep useful backups without storing every possibility, and you are allowed to let your current home serve your current body routines, interests, household, and energy. If this helped you notice what just in case is costing you, watch 10 Things Calm. Women over 40. Stop keeping at home. Next, it continues this conversation with 10 more categories that can quietly add work guilt and mental load to your home. For more calm home habits made for women over 40, subscribe to Calm Her Daily. Your home does not need to be ready for every possible future. It only needs to support the life that is here now.